Here it is. Check this out. This is what I was talking about earlier. Sexual fetishes of political orientation of men. Okay? Look at this. Race play. Age play. Genuinely surprised age play isn't lower in the libertarian stuff. Necrophilia is, though. Incest. Uniform, so a military thing. Scat. Feet. Voyeurism. Lactation. Sounding. R-word play. Bestiality. Interesting. Now, if you go over pedophilia, not surprised. If you go over here to where we're at, vor, based. Asphyxiation, choking, hot. Heavy bondage, hot. Group sex, hot. Light bondage, hot. Female use of sex toys, hot. Pegging, I'm not into it. That's hot, though. Monsters and aliens, sure. Male use of sex toys. Females dominating. Males submitting. Males dominating. Females submitting. Sadism. Sex positions besides missionary, which is a hilarious thing. Look, we're based, okay? We're based, and these guys are weird. These guys are weird. They want love poop. They love poop, and they love babies, and they love being racist. Yeah. Yep. So, where the gay shit at? I don't think it was based on sexuality. It was only based on like subgroup. It was fetishes specifically, so I don't think they counted like I'm gay as a fetish, which is good. How do you make a graph like that? Oh, they talk about it, but I don't care about it. You know, it's just not the same. You know. I do have a harem obsession. An obsession for a harem. Okay, we make jokes about harems here. My ideal life situation is how do we reconcile don't kink shame with race play? Look, if you are consenting adults and you want to engage in race play, I am okay with that. I don't feel comfortable engaging in it, and I know a lot of people don't. I have talked. I have a black friend of mine, and they are they're in the dating scene and have encountered dudes that are into that. So although they are like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah, there's a how do we describe this? I'm not going to kink shame you. What I am going to say is I am not surprised that the further right you get on the political spectrum, the more interested you are in the taboo subject of like calling someone a racial slur while fucking them or having them fuck you. Not surprised. I'm also not surprised that goes past racial boundaries. And if you happen to be, say, a black person on the far right, you're also into race play. Not really surprising if you catch my drift. There's a lot of like Samuel L. Jackson in Django is the good guy sort of vibes going on. Yeah, I'm also not surprised about the pedophilia. I'm also not surprised about a lot of the other stuff. That said, if you are consenting adults, I can't have an ethical issue with it. What I can have an issue with is probably that bleeds out of the bedroom. You know what I mean? If you can keep that specifically in your bedroom or dungeon or whatever the fuck, you know, your private sex area, wherever you do that, or with a group, although group sex was all the way on the left, you know, I can't care. The odds of that being real, the odds of you being a racist person in your bed and not being a racist person outside of it seem slim, because it makes me incredibly uncomfortable to consider race play. It doesn't turn me on. Not a thing. So, do find it kind of weird that they considered pedophilia a kink. Well, yeah. It's certainly not a sexuality. Although it's sort of a kink maybe we ought to consider as ingrained as sexuality, because it seems like some pedophiles have like deep-seated, like usually pedophilia seems to be not linked with super normalized, well-doing citizens. You know what I mean? They seem to have like fucking issues, right? So, you know, it's probably a mental health issue that has to do with some sort of thing. But and I'm sure it manifests in lots of different ways, just like anything else. But I think a proactive approach to pedophilia, same thing, would be way better than a reactive approach. Clearly, I think that's clear. But it's pretty hard to be proactive when it's such a horrible thing. It's hard to destigmatize seeking help for it. You know what I mean? So I think, I don't know if like an anonymous sort of like healthcare thing. I don't even know how to address it. Avoid comparing that to a sexual orientation. You might want to avoid. Well, no, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think it is a sexual orientation, but I think if you just frame it as like it's pretty ingrained in these people. I don't think you can become a pedophile. Does that make sense? At least it doesn't seem that way. Like I feel like you can warm up to like, maybe I'll get a bigger butt plug. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, like, ooh, maybe I do like butt stuff. That seems like something you could get into from a physiological standpoint, like, or choking or bondage or some of these other kinks make some sort of social sense, right? I don't think you can just foster an attraction to a kid. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think, maybe you can if you were like, I don't know, if you were like, what's the word I'm looking for? MK Ultra'd but pedophile version? Sure. Like, if you were groomed for that, that's a thing. And lots of people are groomed. But I mean, like, I don't think just a guy can be like, I'm going to look up the dark web and find some boy butt and look at that. I really don't think you can just like Pavlov yourself into that. Maybe you can, but I don't know. My big kink is to have someone treat me nice, or be nice and treat me well. Of course, I'm demisexual with a history of being abused, so yeah. But actually, as a she loves it when I say it. As a dom, I've actually incorporated a lot of not necessarily only aftercare or like foreplay or core play, like kind of like spread throughout. Like, I have added positive affirmation to aspects of it as I think it's important. Like, because I think, like say something nice about yourself is a great sort of tool that can, whether that works out or whatever is another thing. But like, yeah, I heard we were talking kinks. Oh yeah. I think just positive affirmation from a dom perspective helps sometimes. Like, not all the time, not the only core play for it, but say something nice about yourself. Yeah, it is wholesome, but it's also a little hot. But like, I think that can be incorporated, and so that's the kind of, like, I don't like an antagonistic, especially with a live-in. Like, maybe if it was like a sub that was out of the house. That's one thing, and those go different ways, and there's different aspects to all of them. But for like a live-in partner situation, I don't feel like, for me, that it makes a lot of sense to be like the sort of master, where a lot of people kind of like that shit, but more of like situationally, does that make sense? Just for the dynamic of the household. Insulty dom. Well, some people really like to be, for lack of a better term, like playfully negged, like kind of that, and that's not, there's nothing wrong with that, but gentle domination. Well, it's always gentle. I'm just saying, like, there's lots of nuances that go on with everybody's sort of, like, it just depends on everybody's fit. That's all, really. But I do think that it's reasonable to just in case you're into it, because it came out of Barry Nerdy's comment there. Like, I think it's really good to incorporate forced positivity at times. I hate fucking. I'm not gonna be able to make you feel good if I don't like you. I just can't do it. Yeah, I can make me feel good, but I don't really get as much out of that. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people think A dom is just someone that seeks their own pleasure, and those people usually get kicked out of kink spaces eventually. You know what I mean? Yeah, those people don't really last long in those spaces. They get added pretty quick, especially if it's like group stuff. Like, yeah, which I don't really take part in, but yeah. Not to. I mean, you know, I mean, if you group in the house, sure, but I mean, I don't go to like parties. Some people like that stuff. That's too much socializing for me. I'm not into it. They're just selfish. Yeah, I think that might be it. Yeah. Oh, when I say hate fucking, I mean someone you love in a hatey way. Yeah. See, I don't feel love that way. I can't fucking not like you and also love you enough to want you to come. So, but I can like you and not love you and want you to come. You know what I mean? Don't mean anything, comment me, encourage me doing something. So yeah, see, I think like that, when people like that, it's really easy for me to do that because I don't know if you can tell, I'm not always a nice guy, but I'm kind of pretty nice. You know what I mean? And certainly a sexual partner, I want to feel good. It means a lot to me that a sexual partner like enjoys themselves. You know what I mean? And I get a lot of sexual enjoyment out of that. We're talking about sex again, chat. Just for a minute because I gotta go soon. We're gonna raid Nico Suris. Yeah, I just think that you know, it just plays to my personality better and plays to the way I love better and the way I like better. Or grace, part of when unhealthy relationship with sex previous to now, just taking my own time and shit. Yeah, I think that's reasonable too, Betty Bell. Like I'm at an age where I have explored sexuality in a lot of different ways and sort of settled on kind of how I dig it, and I'm really happy with it. Let's have an open dialogue, just like masters don't need permission. I'm like, good luck with that. Yeah, that's weird, Barry. Yeah. If you're into it, that's cool. If you're also into vanilla stuff or just like non-dom specific kinks, or maybe you're a dom, or maybe you're a switch, or maybe you're not into any of that sort of power play, that's fine too. Ace of Infinite Spades, we were talking, what did you miss? We did John Doyle and some other stuff. Actually seek the pleasure of my part. Yeah. But I mean, like, sometimes it's about me, but that's not all the time. You can't be degraded. Well, some people really like degradation, so yeah, I mean, it just depends. But I think the degradation comes on the back of. I think degradation needs aftercare, and that's why it's hot. Does that make sense? Like, that we can get to that point and then also still love each other is why it's cool. But don't see hate, fuck, but rivalry. I mean, I couldn't have that, but yeah, if someone's into that, go for it. That's just not my style. It's not what gets me going, you know? Like, think when I switch an ornery sub, you might as well be a Brad, dude. Yeah, aftercare's not optional. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the people. I'm sure some people are like, I don't want aftercare because it extends the thing, because I like the feeling of that. But like, I would say 90% of people are probably, you need aftercare. I certainly make sure aftercare occurs, especially if it's like a, you know, not as wholesome of an encounter, I suppose. Screening DOMs, I've never had to do that, obviously. So aftercare is certainly important for me. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I guess you. No, I think you're right. Yeah, I'd say that's probably more akin to what I was saying. Yeah, aftercare might not be immediate, but it's required. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yep. We are in agreement. Anyway, we don't have to talk about kink. We can, if you want to, for a couple more minutes. Otherwise, I got the boys coming over in a second. You need aftercare, but only when you're done. Really? I don't need any aftercare personally. I like aftercare though. Like, I don't know. You always take a quiz with my partners to see what their kinks are. Me too. I do as well. The kink quiz is super fun. What exactly does aftercare entail? Just cuddle, sweet talk, and then some good food? It depends on who is in, like, what you're into. Sure, we'll do a type 5 on aftercare for a second. Aftercare can be a lot of things. It can just be whatever makes you comfortable. It can also just be physical touch. It can be hair brushing, cleaning if you need to do that. It could be a shower. It could be saying nice things. It could be silence. It could be talking a lot. It could be a conversation. It just really depends on whatever really grounds you back out of subspace. Because usually, if you haven't experienced subspace, which I haven't, but people that do experience it, yeah. Oh yeah, the no zone. Yeah. That's good too. Red light, green light, yellow light is good, or whatever version of that you have going on for your in the middle of stuff. But yeah, I think it just depends. You kind of need to come down from the experience. No pun intended. And especially depending on what's going on, like if there's sensory deprivation, if there is intense. Any sort of intense things that occur, which can happen. It just really depends. So, yeah. She appreciates the aftercare very much. Yeah. And sometimes the traumatic experiences bleed into the session, right? Because, sometimes someone... The kink is weird because sometimes it manifests from nothing and sometimes it manifests from something and sometimes that something is trauma. So it can be a little interesting to navigate. And I think anyone who's in kink space kind of agrees with that take. Like, I think we all agree that there's portions of kink that are definitely rooted in our trauma. And this is sort of the way I don't know if exploring is even the right word. It almost like just is like catharsis in a way. I can't even eat submarine sandwiches. That's true. I only eat grinders. Yeah. Healthy coping is power back. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So, yeah, it's all that. Also, I just like to fuck. I'm a big fan of it. So I eat hoagies, dude. No subs for me, only hoagies. He can eat subs. True. I haven't had sex in years now. Well, I mean, if it's not something you're interested in, no worries. But if you are interested in it, I don't think you would have a problem getting it. Most people would be surprised to learn that they don't have a problem if you just put yourself out there. But obviously, making sure that you have reasonable partners and stuff. Picking a leftist is a good idea. Not for nothing. But, yeah. A lot of people into CNC, and they have to control over the situation in case it gets too intense. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, CNC is a touchy subject. For those that don't know, CNC is consensual non-consent. It's basically simulated non-consent with the understanding that it can be stopped at any point. Some people find it very hot. It really depends on the people involved and the trust. And it can be a really cathartic way to explore that. Whether you've ever gone through that or not, like, it can be a thing. So. Cupcake and magnetar with your goddamn sandwiches. Well, that's okay, Jalen Jean. Yeah. Since before COVID, what a bummer, dude. It's a bummer. Bummeroosk. Well, anyway, we're going to do this thing. We're going to do that little raid. Hell yeah. In November. November's right there. Safe words be excellent. Or other physical signs for a smooth ride. A smooth ride. You're damn right. Glad the Day of Hugs joined chat. We've been friends for a long time. I'll love her to death. And now we're talking about kink. We never get to. Practice safe kink. Practice safe vanilla as well, chat. Whatever you got going on. There's no right way to fuck as long as it's consensual. That's the only right way. Okay? Love your face.